Hello everyone, how are you? In this episode, we will be taking a look at Lenovo ThinkPad T470. I believe in the earlier episode dealing with the perhaps X240 ThinkPad, I have mentioned the almost legendary status of the Lenovo ThinkPad T series, and basically it's been tested, true and tried. It has withstood the test of time, right? In terms of reliability, performance, everything. Basically, when it comes to enterprise level computing, business computing, and even today's small business computing, it has set the standard to a point where every manufacturer strives to. With that said, let's take a look at what's new in this T470. This review model that I'm looking at is a sporting 7th generation Intel Kaby Lake Core i5 CPU, dual core. Comes with the Windows 10 Pro. Onboard has 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of solid state NVMe TCG Opal encryption hard drive, and the display panel is 14-inch IPS 1920 by 1080p Full HD, and the graphics card that drives that display is Intel HD 620. The computer has Bluetooth 4.1, Gigabit Ethernet, and Intel Wireless AC 8265. And the front-facing webcam is a 720p. Now, with that said, we'll look at the dimensions real quick. The width is 13.25 inches, depth is 9.15, and the thickness is 0.79 inches, weighing in at 3.5 pounds. The build is basically the same that you've always known. Magnesium alloy chassis with carbon fiber reinforced exterior gives you slight bit of a flex on the lid, no flex on the base, basically very sturdy. The hinges are same hinges that you're familiar with. So in terms of a build wise, you're not going to see something that is more solid than the ThinkPad and T series in particular. So throughout this review, I'll also reference the T470S as well, because that is the slimmer version of this guy, and we'll just talk point by point with this model. And so let's start with the display. Display is an IPS panel, as I mentioned earlier. The black is extremely dark, and that's always something nice to have on a laptop display. The brightness is it's enough to be used outside. It is not a glossy finish screen, so you're not going to have the typical glare situation that you would normally encounter with the touch screens or consumer grade laptops that you will find at Fry's, Best Buy, whatever. As far as the audio is concerned, the speakers are bottom firing, and surprisingly, they are extremely loud. Is it audiophile quality? No, but given the chassis being a laptop and it having a tiny drivers, they sound reasonable enough and loud enough for general audio consumption. As far as the keyboard is concerned, well, that's probably the highlight of any ThinkPad, right? The tried and true keyboard, chiclet style island, extremely comfortable to type on, great feedback. I'm not sure if there's any laptop keyboard that will beat the performance and just the overall quality of the typing experience, given the ThinkPad's keyboard's legendary quality over the years. So absolutely nothing to complain about the keyboard. The backlit keys are very nice. Using the function spacebar, which is the combination ThinkPads use, you can control semi-lit, fully lit, off, semi-lit, fully lit, so on and so forth. As far as the trackpad is concerned, little little tinier than I would have liked. However, tracking is smooth. The feedback is excellent. It's not soft and mushy, or it's not too abrupt. So it just has the right amount of travel and right amount of attack. And again, like I said, the tracking is impeccable. Let's see, what else can we talk about? The battery life, it is a standard battery compartment here, so you could swap to 3-cell, 6-cell, whatever that you wish to use. With the factory standard battery, I am able to last about 7.5 hours with the screen fully lit on Wi-Fi, regular browsing with the Chrome, multiple tabs open, video consumption, general productivity work. So it is good enough to last you just about a full day worth of a work day. So that's the battery. The power charger has the, it's a 45-watt charger, and the little brick is tiny enough where it doesn't become a huge problem to take one around. Now, I will go over the ports later, but it also has a USB Type-C port available, which is a welcome edition, and it also does charge through that as well. As far as the thermal management is concerned, again, it's where the years and years of ThinkPad tradition just shines. Yes, it does get a little bit warm when it's just pushed. However, it never gets hot, never gets uncomfortable. The side vent right here for the fan, you're not gonna have your hand resting here all of a sudden just to feel the oven door opening, nothing like that. So it's extremely well designed. The thermal management is on point. So let's now go over the ports real quick. On the on this side with the hinges, you're not going to see anything. So on this side, let's see with the camera, you have your charging port, USB 3.0, Type-C, vent as I mentioned earlier, and security card. And on this side, you have your audio, another USB 3.0, full HDMI, another USB, gigabit Ethernet, and SD card slot, and your normal Kensington lock port here. And then nothing on the base side either. So overall, let's talk about what's so great. So legendary build quality, which I mentioned earlier, just awesome. It is a solid, feels substantial without being heavy. It's a great notebook. Not just the build, but also the performance with the proper build. And just abundance of ports is just something that you take for granted, but until you start working with something that actually don't have, full array of ports. The plenty of normal legacy USB ports is welcome, Ethernet port, and with the USB Type-C and the HDMI, you could have a reasonably well covered. You're reasonably well covered in terms of a displays also concerned. And the USB Type-C is also Thunderbolt capable, which is just great. And the laptop itself passes the TPM mil-spec 810G, so that also tells you how well it's built. And optional ability to add 4G Lte W Ram is also a plus. So I mean, I'm gonna have a really hard time finding any faults with this, so I don't have any really cons to go over with you, other than the rubberized, the plastic exterior will pick up a lot of grease if you generally have greasy hands, Cheetos fingers as I call. Not a problem for me because I wash my hands religiously, regularly, and keep them dry, but for those of you that have a semi-greasy hands, you'll be leaving handprints on the rubberized plastic lid and the base. Now, compared to 470S, there are some plus with this model which I would share with you. So you're not gaining a whole lot of bulk compared to 470S with this model, and yet it gives you the option of swapping your battery in and out, which you cannot do with 470S. And also the 470S has the Type-C port on this side of the chassis. So that becomes a slight problem, because if you have that shoved in there, and I use a mouse on an extended use and not the trackpad. So if the cable is constantly going in this way and you got your mouse on this side, that's going to become a problem. Whereas this, the 470 has a USB Type-C on the left-hand side, so it doesn't get in the way even if you have a cable engaged. So overall, I would probably take the 470 over 470S given all the things considered. I really don't see any benefit of taking the 470S at this point, comparing everything. Now, this 470 in general, it sits between your 13 inches that may feel slightly cramped versus 15.4, which is just too big to be portable. I think the 14-inch laptop chassis sits just right. You're not gonna have any problems finding a room in your backpack or messenger bag to shove this in. Very thin, very sturdy, really well built. So again, lots of great things. Just perfect for productivity work. Really not I'm not having any luck trying to find something to fault. So if you're looking for a day-to-day driver for your productivity, for your business environment, also if for enterprise corporate level computing, all the TPM and the fingerprint sensors and everything, and the way it's built, passing the military grade, just overall extremely solid model to be considered. So with that said, just many thumbs up for the T470. Until next episode, everyone take care.